1. The two elderly Texas millionaires are impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 2. The two elderly Texas millionaires were impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 3. At the moment, the two elderly Texas millionaires are being impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 4. The two elderly Texas millionaires will be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 5. The two elderly Texas millionaires would be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment if there were more practical applications for it. 6. The two elderly Texas millionaires would have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment if there had been more practical applications for it. 7. The two elderly Texas millionaires that have been so impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment are now researching a new program. 8. The two elderly Texas millionaires have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment for a long time now. 9. The two elderly Texas millionaires had been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment long before the burglary was thwarted. 10. The two elderly Texas millionaires will have been thoroughly impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment by the time I've done my presentation. 11. The two elderly Texas millionaires ought to be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 12. The two elderly Texas millionaires should be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 13. The two elderly Texas millionaires shouldn't be too impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 14. The two elderly Texas millionaires should have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 15. Given the circumstances, the two elderly Texas millionaires shouldn't have been that impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 16. We think that the two elderly Texas millionaires could easily be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 17. No matter what we did, the two elderly Texas millionaires couldn't be impressed by even the most sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment. 18. The two elderly Texas millionaires could have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment, but we're not sure. 19. The two elderly Texas millionaires couldn't have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment because they left after 5 minutes. 20. The two elderly Texas millionaires might be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment this time around. 21. The two elderly Texas millionaires might have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment, but they gave no indication one way or the other. 22. The two elderly Texas millionaires must be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment because they're considering a huge order. 23. The two elderly Texas millionaires must have been impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment because they ordered so much of it. 24. The two elderly Texas millionaires can be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment because they don't know much about surveillance. 25. The two elderly Texas millionaires can't be impressed by the sophisticated electronic eavesdropping equipment because they invented most of the state-of-the-art technology currently available.